I don't think anybody's here yet, but
Says
uh,
there's two people studio chat. Is that us?
yeah, that's us. But anyway, 0 people. Probably one going to be one now because I got it on my TV just to show that we went live. So we're 26 seconds in. We got 2 people. So hey, what fellow slot car nerds? This is Michael coming to you from Big Oak Raceway and Scratch Talk. We got Greg from Clearwater 124 here, and we're just gonna talk about what's been going on the last couple weeks and see what we got going on. So, Greg, what you been doing, buddy?
No, not much going on here. I lost my work space outside for soldering and painting and stuff, so I really haven't done anything. I worked a little bit on this Gremlin chassis, but I haven't made a lot of progress. The next step I got to do is solder, but I've taken it apart and I cut the front axle holders off of here on both sides. And now I'm going to be able to set the wheelbase wherever I want. The 3 hole one there was really where the axle needed to be, was like in between the choices that you had. So I've cut those off and I'm going to build my own, just like I would on a scratch build car, and solder it on there.
Right, I
And
remember talking
we'll,
about that.
yeah,
Talking about
we'll get it back together.
to line it up better, the
Yep.
front. So we got
Yeah.
Steve. What's going on,
They were.
Steve?
Go
Jeff.
ahead.
What's up, guys? So
That's
you got
I don't have it much else going on.
that's fine. So how's the weather down there in Florida?
It was in the 50s today. It's about 55 right now. I got
Uh,
socks. I got socks on.
yeah, it's always cold when you guys are wearing socks down there in Florida. I know Dad used to always complain about how cold it was when it was 60, and
Yeah.
he had to put on long breeches and put on long breeches and maybe a sweater or something, a long sleeve shirt. But yeah, we've been blessed with the blistering 41 degrees. Uh, Yesterday and today is like in the 40s, so that's long breeches and short t-shirt weather. So short sleeve t.
My wife's been up
So
in Massachusetts where it's been in the 20s and snowy. So
yeah, that's all bad.
she's coming. She's coming home Tuesday. She'll get into Tampa Tuesday afternoon about 3:30.
Yeah. Ooh, look, a rare Carrera in the house. Hey guys, driving can't text too much. Lol, whatever that means, whatever lol is. If anybody knows what lol is, let me know because yeah, I'm not hip with all that stuff. Yeah, Jeff, you had to power wash today. That's no good. In the cold? How cold is it there, Jeff? Oh, laugh out loud. But did he really though? When he texted that, did he really laugh out loud? I think that it might be illegal to put that if you don't do it. But yeah, car sent off. Yes, Monday. Um, I don't know if I can show it. If I can show a picture of it, I don't know how that would work. But let me try. Pop culture doesn't make it to Kentucky. I see. Yeah, yeah, just a bunch of nerds, just a bunch of dorks out there carrying purses and saying LOL. I guess. Let me see if I can't upload that and put what the final. Uh, well, I do have. Let's see if this works. This is kind of what the body ended up looking like. Um, of course, there's no windows or drivers or nothing, but that's kind of what it kind of what it looked like.
A little weathered.
Yeah. Uh, this might be before I did the whole body weathered, but that's kind of where I left it um, with all that. So uh, I was I was happy with the body. I took it over and ran it at the track over there and ran pretty well, except for the fact that I came home without a bumper and front grill. I mean, it was in my pocket, but uh, you know, um, but yeah, it was in my. They were in my pocket, so I had to glue them. And then, of course, I didn't do the E6000 before I went over there, but it had it before it left here to go to Missouri. So uh,
That stuff makes a difference.
yeah, the first time I came off on that bank and it kind of caromed all the way down to the infield, and then it bashed the inside of the track, and then the bumpers fell over into the infield, and yeah, I had to get a mop and kind of dig them out from the middle and underneath the track and everything. So it was not fun, but it kind of good. Is a little noisy, but I don't know. It's not that the gear mesh I think was fine because it was running mid fours over there, which is pretty fast on that oval. Because it's a tri-oval with a bank turn, and then it goes into a kink as you're coming downhill and into the other turn. But it ran pretty good. But it just sounds hollow. It sounded hollow. You know what I mean? Like, so when I came back, I added the gas tank to the back part, the under part of the chassis, the model chassis, just
Hmm.
dampen that a little bit. And I did add a little weight back there in that compartment. Just a couple strips of that golf lead tape stuff on the left on the driver's side. So I put some weight on the driver's side of that car to kind of since it's on an oval. I don't know if that was right or wrong, but it ran pretty decent on my track. But yeah, I had my wheel placement wrong. I couldn't re-drill the holes, so I had to take my sanding wheel and uh, the firewall on the front. I had to sand that away. What do you say, Easy? Hope everything's going all right with y'all down there.
Hey,
Uh,
easy.
but yeah, it could have been better. Um, of course, it's not like Gary's. I've seen where he painted that chassis and he's doing that Mustang for the Sportsman. Gary, I forget what his last name is, but I saw on Facebook he put that Gary Lavelle or something like that, I think. But his red, he painted the red and all that stuff, and it looks like it's coated and everything, which is really good work. I want to get there, but my chassis does not look like that at all.
Yeah.
It's the brass for the body mounts that I put in is rough, and I'm still learning, I guess, right? So
It'll get better. Every one you
I'm
do, get a little
it,
better.
but I was happy with the body turned out and the way the interior, because I was able to use the interior for the car. Um, I was happy with the way that stuff turned out, but the chassis, of course, that was the second build on the chassis because uh, this is the original one that I put together, and this is the one that was all seemed like the wheels were so far off the track, they were just riding really high. So I just started over with the other kit that I had,
And what
and
did you do to make the difference? Or did
I
it
don't
look different?
I don't think I did anything different, which is the thing. I watched one of George's videos, Area 51, and I just kind of did it the way he did it. It was still a little higher than an eighth of an inch, was what I wanted, but um, it didn't seem to be as high as this one. So I
Well,
don't know.
What was it different? What did you do different between the
I
one you
don't
used and that one?
I don't think anything. That's the weird part. I don't know. So so I mean, maybe I use this one for a truck or something, you know. I don't know. But I'm not gonna scrap it because I mean, I still got the motor. I still got everything to build another car with this. But I got that 72 Chevy pickup that's like the one that my dad had, so I'm gonna build that, and then I guess just for here. Uh, so yeah, that's what I hope they run well. That's all. Get there. I hope they run well. Of course, I was freaking out, stressing out about if they were going to get there or not. And then I saw Tad put out a video today or yesterday, and he was like, "Hey, if you ain't, you know, you need to make sure you get them mailed off because you know it's coming up." And last year there was all kinds of problems with the mail service, and
Yep.
you know, I live I live about what I forget what he said, a couple hours from there or something, and he mailed his off, and it took like 2 weeks.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I was already stressing, but like I said, I shipped them out Monday.
I think a bunch of them. I think a bunch of them got held up in Louisville, as a matter of fact.
They probably did because we got a bunch of hillbillies trying to sort mail, and they can't read in zip codes and stuff, or they. I mean, they're just a bunch of good old boys wearing their overalls, and they're like probably. I imagine that it's like sorting mail at the Louisville main post office is like that Lucy episode where her and Ethel was boxing
Chocolate.
and they was eating, was stuffing them in their aprons and stuff. So you got all these hillbillies out there that is just trying to keep up with the trying to keep up with all the mail and stuff, and then they're stuffing them in their overalls and everything. They take them home, they get lost. I had a box from Professor Motor that I ordered on my birthday, which is in November, and I just got it Saturday. And they had it in Louisville 28th, 27th or 28th of November. And I just got it Saturday. So, and then there was a story a while back in the summer where they found like 100,000 pieces of mail that
Really.
forgot about, or they could, you know, they hadn't distributed. So yeah.
Speaking of Professor Motor,
Oh, because of the hillbilly. It's not a. I wasn't mean a derogatory toward
no,
you.
no.
It,
Professor Motor. I placed an
I'm
order
sure you're different.
on the third. I got it today, but I think it's been in my mailbox a couple of days. I forgot to check it.
Oh, at the front of your all's estate.
Yeah, we have the whole bunch line of
You
boxes,
got
300 boxes.
you gotta call Uber to go down to get your mail.
No, I'm pretty close. I'm pretty close.
So I'm drinking coffee out of my favorite coffee mug. Let's
That's
scratch
what
talk. Probably one of the best gifts I ever got, but you know. So
I got a question. If you can't answer it, maybe somebody in the chat can.
hold on, Joe wants some thoughts on the E7 something. Do they even make an E7000?
Yeah, I didn't. I don't know the glue. I don't know the other glue he's talking about.
E6000. I can tell you, it's good.
Yeah, it works good.
It'll put you a pretty good bond in there.
Yeah, it'll knock you out too if you sniff too much of it.
Yeah, look, I put some on. So I brought that car back from the track the other day, and I had the front bumper and the grill in my pocket. So I came in here and super glued it back on there, and then I took the E6000 and ran it on the inside. let that set up, and then I took it in there to show her. I said, "Look, babe, here it is. You know, it's back on there. It's done. I don't think it's coming off." And she was like, "What is that?" And I said, "That's the E6000." And she said, "You better make sure you start having ventilation in there." And I was like, "Yeah, ventilation is for chunks." So
Uh,
she's see you walking around with a sock in your pocket. That's all I know. And I said, apparently, these old boys that huff, they use a sock. I don't know. I've never had that problem, but she's a little concerned that I might be uh, getting that in my brain, and but it can't hurt this brain because there's not much left. Is what? Yeah, you're probably right. So that's what I get around here. So what's your question? Maybe I can answer it. Maybe I can't. I don't know.
I have this car, Carrera, 124 C6 Corvette test car.
Yeah.
I thought I had changed the guide on it, but I had not. So I went to change the guide the other day, and it's unlike any Carrera guide I've seen. It doesn't appear to be, pull in, stick another one in. It appears to be molded right into that. It's not like a press in. So you
Is
can't just put a Franken slot or a slot invasion guide in there.
Well, let's see the bottom of it a little bit better. Let me see. Is that one? Huh. I don't know about that. Did you try to take that piece off the guide assembly and stuff?
I did not. I had it apart and I was looking at it, but I really wasn't sure what to do.
Well, you can press. Is that one screwed in, or it moves up and down, right? Like
Yeah,
we'll pop
yeah,
it out. Take it. Take the top off of it, and then pop it down and see what it looks like underneath. Did you do that?
yeah.
Did you check to make gas in it?
Check to make what?
Make sure it had gas in
Yeah.
it. I'm just playing.
Kind of like my smart race issue.
Yeah. Yeah, that's messed up. Hey, I should be getting my track finished tomorrow. So I'll run some slot sync on an analog and see, because I got some MR slot car, I think, to run. I got some NSR, I got some scale autos to run. So
Yeah, do your 124 scale auto. That's what I had the issue with. It
what
would
color?
when I put the check mark in, it wouldn't count laps, but it would fuel, which was very odd.
It wouldn't count laps at all.
No, but it would fuel. If I took the check mark off, it would count laps. Really strange.
Yeah, I've never had that issue with the smart race not counting laps with the check mark. I thought at first you were saying that it was when you were getting gas, it wasn't counting that lap.
No, it's not counting
Well,
any laps. Counting no
but
laps.
hmm. I know, guys, it's not scratch build stuff, but we don't have a whole lot going on because it's at the end of the 2025 scratch build season. You can't paint. I mean, you can't paint in this weather. Well, I guess you could if you had a heater in your garage and you got it up to about 70 degrees in there.
This car actually has front suspension. See that?
Yeah, what is that? The brass? Can you push that? Can you push that guide assembly down? It should hook in right around where the axle's at. Like Yeah. And look at what does it look like underneath there? Does it look? Is it screwed in? Is it?
No, it looks like it's press fit, but it won't come out.
Is it glued? Does it look like it has glue in there?
No. I know you can't see shit with these cameras. The lighting. See right here, it looks like it's pressed in right there. But I try to split those and push it through, and I can't push it through, and I can't pull it through.
Huh.
It looks like this is two pieces. This rounded edge on both sides, and then this guide piece in the middle looks like it's another piece. And the guide is molded right to that, is what it looks like to me. But I don't see how you get it out of there.
I know how we'd get it out of there if in Kentucky.
Yeah, I'm just afraid of breaking it,
Kentucky body shop. I know how we get it out.
But yeah, I didn't notice this before. It's got front suspension. I never saw a Carrera car like that. See that?
What is the suspension? Is it just like two little pieces of brass that lay
Yeah,
underneath? Yeah, that's like
right here.
yeah. The GT40s have those. The
Does it?
124 GT40, it has that that little that looks like little pieces of brass, but they're kind of underneath, and yeah, I know what you're talking. But I've never had an issue with the guide and stuff. You said that's a Corvette?
Yeah.
From how old is that?
05.
Uh,
Yeah, and there's it's an odd little prong thing here on the front. Oh wait, just wait.
hey, what's up, B
Oh,
Rad?
something popped.
Yeah.
Something popped.
You just got to put it. Sometimes you got to you got to use pressure to get something that's under pressure out. So
Yeah, see, that's all one piece. That guide isn't separate. That whole piece is the guide is molded into that. Can you see it, Mike?
yeah, I can see that. Yeah. So that's a whole different type of.
It is.
I would look and see if you can. I'm sure you could buy just a more modern. Is there something wrong with that guide? Is that why you need to get it out of there?
No, I just looked at it and I said, "Oh, I thought I had changed that." So I wanted to put a slot invasion or a Franken slot in there, and that's when I started messing with it.
Uh,
All right, so now I know about it. Okay.
Take it to a chop shop.
I guess those new slot invasion, the aluminum ones are pretty cool, huh? For the 132 cars.
Yeah, I've done one of those in my Porsche 935, and it's without the spring load. It's I like it. I think that Joe's used it on a couple cars, and not sure about his thoughts yet, but I think that he likes it too. To me, it's like with the spring in there. It's just my opinion. I'm just a Kentucky redneck that don't know a whole lot about physics and whatnot, but I know enough to dabble and get in trouble. But when the car goes around the turn with the spring fighting the spring through the turn, that's just what I'm thinking. And without it, it seems smoother in the turns and coming out, and it's straightened. To me, it seems like it straightens up more naturally than it does with the spring guide. I mean, if anybody else out there is put them on their cars and think that I may be way off base, but it's just my experience that's what it seems to be doing to me. But I got a whole bunch of these things. Soon as Filthy said that they had them, I went and bought them. So this one, I was going to give this one to Janet for our anniversary. You know, in this, so
That would have went over big.
it was like I was going to be like, "Here, babe, you are my density," and then just give it to her. But yeah, but yeah, I didn't want to get put out in the back, so without a key to the garage, you know what I mean? But yeah, but all these other cars these analog cars, the NSRs and the Revos, looks like B-Rad's talking about the spring out of the Revo guide and all that stuff. Hey, what's up, Ryan? P&W in the house, but yeah, yeah, Jeff, that would have been hilarious for about a half a second, and then I would have got
Yeah.
a knuckle to the and it would have been over with. But yeah, to me, that's what it seems like it does. With it. So, oh yeah, oh yeah. Here's the Monza. I got another Monza.
Nice.
Yeah, but that's pretty sweet. But yeah, this is the only one I've done that to. Like I said, guys, I know it's not scratch build, but it's kind of goes along the lines of scratch building, don't it? A little bit, but this is what
I won't be able to do anything till she takes the Christmas stuff down now.
we don't want excuses. We just want results, buddy. But of course, you got to make sure that it springs back. But this car handles pretty good now. I mean, it handled pretty good before. It handled good before. It was probably one of the best ones that I had. But yeah. But it's just, to me, it seems smoother, and it's not as violent when it comes back, when it lines back up. Of course, this car doesn't have magnets in it either, so that's good. Thank you, Ryan. Appreciate that.
I like the guides in the Scale Auto 124 cars. They're real tiny, but they work really good.
Well, it's like that. It's like that one that you sent me with the stuff. You probably don't even remember, but when you sent me that stuff that had those drivers, and you sent me a couple of them drivers, and then inside of there was. Let's see if I can find. I just put it away.
Probably stuff I'm looking for that I wasn't supposed to send you.
It's too late now. Well, this one just looks like a stock Carrera guide anyway, but this one right here is like it's like a knife keel to me.
Yeah, that's a SWAT invasion.
Yeah, I mean it. That's what my Scale Auto looks like on that 124, like that.
Now there's some. I've used some similar, but the distance between that post. Hold it up again.
I gotta take it back out of the back, dude. Janet says, boss lady, be more organized. I try to be more organized, and you're having me take it out. Take it back.
The distance between these two the front piece there and the post. That won't fit in the brass, right, in the brass guide holder, but they make one for BRM cars, same guide that has a wider space, and that'll fit in that brass guide holder. And I scratch built cars with that guide, and I like that guide.
Oh yeah, because the guide, this is too thick,
right,
and it won't fit.
Yeah, but they make one with that space further back, and it works.
Well, I'm gonna leave this out. I'm just gonna put it in the drawer in case you want me to pull it back out. Because you did. Well, this one is on your Trans Am that you sent me.
Yeah, is that what I'm talking about? Is that one of those?
No, because well, it might be because you put an extension on there.
Okay.
You put an extension in there, so it sticks down a little bit further than that, you probably did that to clear that. It looks like.
Got it like a brass collar on it.
Yeah, yeah. So that's pretty good way to modify stuff, I think.
There's the Scale Auto
It's
guys.
pretty good. Yeah.
They're very small, but they work good on Carrera track. This car is
Yeah,
fast.
I think so. Well, that's that pro, that's it, right? Pro
No,
series?
no, that's a home racing series, plastic one.
So that's the Scale Auto Home series. Oh, okay.
Yep.
I thought it looked like it was metal, all the holes that's in there and stuff.
No, it's plastic.
Yeah,
It's got a place you can put a chip in. Also, you can chip it.
Who wants to do that?
Not me, but I'm just pointing it out to somebody who doesn't have a box.
Yeah, well, if you don't have a box, I mean, what's going on?
Yep,
Yeah,
fast car.
buddy. So, it's just every other Wednesday, Ryan. But hey, are you doing Wicked Wednesday tonight? I'll make sure that I get there this time. Yeah. So, but yeah, he been doing Wicked Wednesday the last couple Wednesdays, I think. But some of the stuff that, yes, sir, he said. Uh, Here's what I kind of got going on as far as scratch build stuff, but I'm not like building no chassis or anything right now. So I bought this body already built by one of the guys at the track. Got a little Lego dude in there as the driver because you don't have to have an actual person. You can have toys driving your toy cars. But I thought it was pretty neat. Something that I could put together pretty quick. This looks like it's got some. They put some little plastic pieces for weight and so like that's pretty. It's got a pretty good weight to just the body. And then I had this chassis already built that I bought a GT car, and the body was all jacked up, and I don't want to run GT class, so I'm just going to use this body, add a little weight to the outside of it, outside plates, and put it back together and run it with this body. So I got my tires and stuff here. It had a 26 gear in it, and this sucker was fast, but it's too fast for I don't the breakout for these is 945. That right there is going to get you eight nines, eight eights every time. So you're wasting your time with that. The axles I gotta clean up because they're kind of messed. It's just old. This car was old. I don't know how long it had been since it had been raced, but you can tell it was raced pretty hard just from all that stuff on there. It's got the MT5 motor, which is a 15,200 RPM motor. I believe that's a 10 or it might be a 9 pinion gear. So we'll run that. So I just building a couple different cars to have some to choose from. I bought a 86 Monte Carlo. It came today, actually. He was on the phone when it came. So that's an 86 Monte Carlo. So I'm gonna build that. I've got a I think I have a chassis for. No, I don't have a chassis for this yet, but I'll build that. I'll get the stuff for the chassis. I want to building that. What else? Oh, I bought so I got this chassis I started working on. I'm going to build a fairgrounds car, which is any American made car from 1959 to 1989 is the cutoff. So, and this is going to be for the tri-oval, and that'll be the first race that happens on, yeah, I think it is a 1/8 axle, B-Red. So yeah, I'm gonna be building the fairgrounds. So I bought a 1973 Dodge Dart, and it already has the model already has the fender flares. So I don't have to. I don't think I'm gonna have to
Hog them out.
hog them out any because it already is come like that. It already comes like that. So that's good because that takes away part of the work for me. The most aggravating the work that was most aggravating on that 69 Nova that I built for HRW.
Yeah.
Uh, so, uh, where was I going with that? So, but my mom had a 73 Dodge Dart when I was a kid. So it was white and that black had the black pinstriping that went down the side and then kind of Starsky and Hutch, you know, how it went down the side and then I'm pretty sure everybody in here knows what Starsky and Hutch is. So, but you know, it had a black stripe that went down the side and then up and over top and then back down. So I'm going to paint it that way.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, then just throw maybe a number or two on there and then uh, figure out some kind of mom and pop uh, advertisement or sponsorship or something and throw it on there and run it on Friday nights in the first race. And that's all I got clearance for because, you know, it's Friday night and, you know, we got to watch TV. We got to watch some kind of female Netflix special or something. I don't know. But anyway, and I'm not going to run figure eight. So that's
That
where
I watched that. That was wild. That figure eight race. Holy cow!
did you watch the whole video?
No, I watched portions of it.
Yeah, nobody. I don't think anybody. What I thought about doing was just taking all the crashes and the near misses and stuff, and just putting out a video like that, and then just doing them all in slow motion, and then having it be like a 12-minute video, and it's just it's just 12 minutes of this.
Yeah, it's pretty wild.
And you know, in those first couple of segments that I was filming, there was a couple guys that were new, right? I mean, young kids. I mean, maybe mid-teens to maybe 20 years old. I mean, it's young kids, never run it before or nothing, and people were getting mad because the one guy kept stopping in the middle of the intersection. It's like because he didn't know where he needed to slow down, so he was always late getting off his trigger. So when you go around the long way, it's got that little kink right before it to line you up for the X. The short way, you know, coming back around, and he would always break after the kink, and it would put him in the middle of the intersection at him and stuff,
Roadblock.
and telling him just drive through it, you know. But at the end of the second his second stint, he was figuring out where he needed to brake to let off to stop before he got to it was the green car. I don't know. I don't know I can't remember what car it was, but I know it was green. It was the only green one out there. And then them two red cars, the Camaros, they did not apparently like each other because they, whenever you saw them come across, it's like they're gonna hit each other for sure.
Yeah, they were trying to hit one another.
It was pretty exciting. But I think they had like 25 or 26 entries that night for that thing. And
Yeah.
and the other thing is like drag racing. So this past weekend they had Santa Showdown for drag racing over there. And I went over Thursday to test my car on the oval, and I knew they weren't having any road course races because it butts up right against the. Dude, they were double parked over there, and there was a line of about 30 dudes waiting to get practice on that drag strip. They were
Wow.
to get one pass, and then they would come around and get back in line and make one pass and come around. It was insane. They said they had 600. I went over there Saturday after work, and it said they had 600 entries.
Wow.
Uh, so, and it was probably about 100 people, 100 dudes over there. But yeah, it was crazy. Hey, what's up, Tad? Yeah,
Thaddeus is here.
yeah, I watched a couple of Tad's videos today.
You see that
Telling,
chat? See that wire chassis?
yeah, oh, that car that blue car that he built. There was
I
one video
He
he,
just did a short video on a wire chassis that he did. It was like a 30-second video or 40-second video. He did that a
oh,
day or two ago.
I didn't see I didn't see that one, but there was one that he replicated a car, and he had the picture, and then he had the car sitting on his track, and he pulled it, and man, he built the body himself from scratch.
Yeah,
I
I've seen that one. Yeah. Yep.
I saw that was sweet.
Yeah. Tad's a great builder.
I don't and even the video where he was telling us to
Jimmy Champagne. Yep, that's the one.
yeah, but he was telling us in the one video that he had his land barge in. He was like, yeah, make sure you get them out, because the couple guys last year that didn't make it, and this, that, and the other thing. And that car was clean. He never showed the underside of it, but I'm sure I would have been embarrassed by seeing the underside of his car, because mine is beat. It's like I drove it, man. That thing that I sent, it looks like it looks like it just run through the Kentucky streets on the highways, all the potholes and stuff that they say we don't have the state don't have the tax money to fix, but
Yeah.
they year on property taxes. Hey, what's up, Chris? Chris Petskowski. But yeah,
Our
man,
our
some of
new
these.
our governor's trying to get rid of property tax here.
Well, heck, you don't even. Uh, yeah, I know looks don't win races, but when they show my car, uh, and they bust out the underneath, if they show it's gonna look rough, y'all. I tried to cover it up with the paint marker, but it didn't help.
Mhm.
It didn't turn out the way that I envisioned it in my head, right? Because I think we talked about me cutting out just uh just the spaces on the pan, right? Uh
Right.
where
Fit the
the
fit the brass in.
grass would fit, and it would just kind of overlap it and be flush and stuff. That didn't work out the way I had it in my head. Hey, thanks, Tad. I know the car looks good, but the underside is rough. I mean, I guess it looks like the way the underside of a car should look, but beat up and everything. But you know, it's not going to win no concourse award if they take into consideration the underside of the car. But I had fun doing it, except for I did get stressed. I got stressed because I was thinking about, I got to get it finished. I got to get it finished to get it mailed off and all that stuff. And if I was running close to Christmas, I would have just driven it there, I guess. Because we're off for a week at Christmas time, so I would have just driven it and been in Dixon, banging on the doors.
Yeah. Well, listen, if it doesn't get on its roof, most of us won't see the chassis. So
Well, I know that when he shows them, sometimes he flips it up.
yeah.
When Harry shows them. But it says it's supposed to be there at the end of the week, so we'll see next week. If I know that he sometimes does videos when he starts getting the cars in. So, but and the little one, the 132 car, I think it's going to perform pretty well on there on the track.
Well, good. As long as you're happy with them, you're gonna love watching them run. You know, you'll love
Yeah.
watching them run.
But
You know,
you know what? The bad thing is I'm going to have to call in that day on the 17th.
yeah.
I'm going
If you want to watch it live,
to have to, hey, well, look, I'm not going to be here. So, I got to run my car live because our service in the plant's been shoddy here lately, and I've been having to run to the dock to get service and then kind of check in with everything and then go back to my job, and then I lose service. And then I have to go back to the dock. It's getting aggravating. They're gonna have to do something because I don't work to work. I work to go to work to pay on bills so I can watch YouTube videos all day. They need to get together, AT&T or Ford or whoever it is. But yeah, the other thing I'm going to be working on, if you want to call, I guess it's kind of scratch building, it's kit building. Anyways, I got those two magnetic racing kits that I was showing you earlier.
yeah.
And then I got these two. I know you heard me talk about it for about a month now. But I got the two Pioneer Legends cars that I still got to build. So I think I'm going to build those. Start working on building those this week. And
I thought about grabbing a couple Pioneer Legends.
yeah, so you have convinced yourself that they are 124 scale?
No, they're 1/30th scale.
I'm just kidding. Just kidding. Hey, it's closer to 124 than it was before.
Yeah.
Because 132 scale.
Yeah, because they're miniature. They're a 124 is 20.
Yeah. I'd like to find a go-kart track that had those engines where you go in through the moonroof into the seat, you know what I mean, and race them. I know we went to Gatlinburg years and years ago. The boys were still teenagers. They were barely driving age, as far as their license and stuff, which they have a NASCAR park, go-kart park or whatever in Sevierville or Pigeon Forge. Sevierville, I think it is. And they have a bunch of different tracks and different types of go-karts and stuff. And then they have the one that's like little Daytona and the car a lot faster. You gotta wear helmets. You gotta have driver's license to run them and stuff. And we had a good time doing that. And that was kind of what those were, where you slid in through the moonroof and ran it. So
Hey, yeah, scratch build thing. I found a Falcon 64 or 65 Falcon, but it's part of a. There's three items in the kit. There's like a 64 Galaxy, a trailer, and a Falcon. But the Falcon is supposed to be a drag car.
right.
I'm trying to find out if it's got a full hood on it because I don't want a hood with a hole in it, with a blower sticking out of it. If it's got a full hood on it, I'll probably buy that kit and make my Trans Am Falcon out of that.
Yeah. I've seen those kits before. That
Yeah.
the one is just the haul the track and then with the
Yep.
trailer. That's a pretty neat little combo that they have out there.
Yeah.
So
I might grab that one.
I've seen them before. How much was that?
It'd be some people want $100, some want like $42. So it's a big fluctuation.
Yeah.
There's a lot of them to choose from.
That Monte Carlo that I bought that I got today, that I think it was like $25. Mike's decals is actually it's the model from 1986. It's not a replica or nothing like that. It's actually copyright 1986 on the box. And then that Dodge Dart, that 70, it didn't really specify, but it's right in that area, 73, 74. Excuse me. And it was $20 on eBay. So it was $12 to ship, but whatever.
Yeah, eBay shipping's getting out of hand.
Yeah, and it was coming from like Milwaukee. So
Yeah.
I don't know what that was all about, but that's fine. I'll pay it. So Hillbilly's gonna start with some white kits before he moves up to scratch build. Yeah, that'd be good for, but I'm no expert at scratch building. I've only got a few under my belt in the last 3 or 4 months, uh, maybe. Well, since September, really, when I started racing over at the track and had to start building. But the H&R chassis uh, for scratch building and stuff, that's pretty decent too. If you want to start with those, Jeff, instead of going right to the soldering and stuff. And my soldering skills were rough in the beginning. So that first car that I did for the HRW, that Nova, that that was not going to win any soldering awards
Yeah,
or anything.
it gets better as you go.
Yeah, well, this last one, I think these last couple that I kind of been soldering on, they turned out pretty good. The
This is one of my last ones, and it looks pretty good.
Yeah, that's what the seven. It was at a 70
68 dart.
68 dart. But yeah, these welds on this thing, we're not everybody's a professional welder. There's probably only one professional welder in this on the chat and stuff. If Ryan's still here, but these things aren't bad. These welds on here or solders on here aren't too bad. So yeah, yeah.
Yeah. That one's pretty good. I think this Ford chassis came out really good too. Paint also hides some of the.
Well, yeah, that looks really good. Now I am gonna the next one that I build. I don't think I'm gonna use the polystyrene for mounting. I think I'm gonna use the wood or yeah, or if I do use polystyrene, I'm just gonna cut out this part instead of all this and everything. But I like to put the dashboards in and
Yeah, me too. I like to have the dash in.
all that stuff. So I mean, it's definitely a pretty neat, and I did build models when I was a kid, but I didn't go pro like some of my buddies did, and start entering competitions and stuff. Uh, you know, they would take them and go to all these shows and enter them in and everything. And I mean, I wouldn't do that because I never got to that level. But for them to have that much concentration on detail and all that stuff,
Yeah.
you know, I don't know, man.
My painting's gotten better too. But I've only been doing it 2 years.
Yeah. And you didn't build when you built when you was a kid though, yeah.
Yeah, I built models when I was a kid.
So angled chisel tip. B-Raz says he used angled chisel tip on a soldering to scrape off excess solder and clean it up a bit. Yeah, I don't know what's the purpose of clean. What I get it. You want it to, I guess, is that the only purpose, is that people you want it to look as neat as you can to get the access off. I mean, it doesn't hurt for it to be on there, right? The
I guess
access.
I just
Access.
try to get it smooth so it's smooth. I don't like it when it's all clumpy.
Well, yeah. I mean, but if you take your iron and just run it across there and smooth it out, it's But oh, globs and drips. Got it. Got it.
Well, I don't think we're going to be back till next year, right?
I think I don't. Yeah, probably not.
Yeah.
Probably not. There's the. I don't know what. I don't know what that time frame looks like. What that time frame looks like, but
Well, next Wednesday's Christmas Eve. No,
no.
right? No, 2 Wednesdays. Two
Yeah.
weeks.
So we're not. So yeah, we'll skip that, and then New Year's. You don't want to. You don't want to skip. You don't want to do Christmas Eve.
No,
Well, you looking at your play. You're looking at your scripted play. Your playbook right there.
calendar.
Oh, I thought you was like an NFL coach, and you was he was looking at your plays. So yeah, it looks like January 7th would probably be the first time back.
Yeah.
So that'd be cool. We might have some stuff. We might have some stuff done or in the pipeline,
See if
working on.
see if I can get my wife to rip down the Christmas stuff off my work area, off my bar that weekend, the third and the fourth. So I can
Yeah,
get
it should because that's after the first, so you would
yeah,
have to get stuff out of there by then because that's required by law.
yeah. All right. That's why my tree's been up since October.
It's international law even. So international law trumps state or federal law, according to some politicians these days.
Hmm.
International law is, I don't know what that's about, but whatever. Anyway, but yeah, I forget what I was gonna say. See, the paint fumes. Oh, I know what it was. Since I said paint fumes, airbrushing. I was thinking about looking at getting an airbrush uh kit that they I didn't know that Harbor Freight carried airbrush and stuff.
Yeah. A couple of those aren't good.
I know they're not good, but I mean, if I'm going to start out with something, I mean, even if it's just so they got the combo kit that has the compressor and has the gun, right?
Hmm.
For it's like 89, well, it's $119, but if you remember, you get $30 off, so it takes it down to $89. And $89 is it's worth it just to get the compressor, yeah.
Probably, yeah.
And then I think B-Rad said something about a paint booth.
What's
And
the PSI on the compressor?
I don't know. I didn't read all the details, dude. I just saw $89 in a full combo kit for airbrushing. And that's how I roll. I don't
I
study
want
all that
I want
stuff.
the Mobius airbrush.
Yeah. If you got time to research all that stuff, that's great. But I don't. I just look at it, point and shoot, point and shoot. That's how I do. And then when it's no good and it breaks, I point and shoot something more expensive.
Yeah, exactly.
That's that's what I do. But no, I don't know. I mean, how much you can't need a whole lot of psi for airbrush, right?
No, probably not.
I
You want
mean,
to, yeah, you want to be able to adjust it.
so Taz said he got one off Amazon for $80. Hadn't used it much. I just feel like that the I do feel like my painting with the rattle cans is getting better. However, airbrushing just seems a little more smooth. You know what I mean? Which obviously it should be. Yeah. It's just like painting your walls with a brush or a sprayer. You know what I mean? The sprayer is going to be smoother. It's going to look smoother. It's going to, to me, that I mean that's the only reason I would want to do that. But I am getting better rattle cans, and I know that I need to get some type of paint booth that is going to run the fumes out the window. Because here I what I was doing the other day when I had to, because I still had to clear coat I still still had to clear coat my car, and I didn't have no propane, for the heaters out in the garage. So what I did was I opened the window in this room and I was shooting it in a box and then had a fan blowing it out the, out the window. And it's still loopy, but you know,
I do all my painting outside because the weather is generally decent enough to do that, you know.
everybody lives in Florida and can go outside in the wintertime. And I'm not moving down there.
I would just like
So
I
stop it.
I do some good paint jobs with a rattle can, but I would like to be able to add some effects that you can't do with a rattle can that you can do with an airbrush. You know,
Right,
like
like
overlapping colors and you know,
yeah. A dryer vent.
because a lot of my
Yeah.
paint jobs look really good with a rattle can.
Yeah. I'm not saying mine look bad, you know, for as long as I've been doing it, you know, just since September, but they're getting better. I mean, I know that for sure. But yeah, B-Rad, I've looked at ways to um make your own booth with using a box and a furnace filter and a fan and a tube like you're talking about. Air vent, dryer vent and stuff. So I might do that too, but
Those are both rattle can paint jobs.
yeah. I like that dart. You have to send that up here. Let me run it and I'll send it back. Eventually.
Two of my Trans Am builds there.
Yeah, that Mustang. I like that Mustang.
Terlingua Racing Team.
Barbados Rex. He reviews products, airbrush, and other items. All right, thanks, Chris. I'll check that out. I probably need to write that down right quick. Let me get my pencil on. See if I can find a piece of paper in this trash can.
Does your hobo freight thing come with
Amanda's hot. Amanda's hot.
come with different tips?
I don't know, Greg. Like I said, I didn't look that close into all the description. I just saw airbrush and compressor and $89 for members. Which is if you're a member, it's what $30 a year to be a Harbor Freight premium member, and you get $30 off, so it pays for itself right there. Bam. And then you get all the other discounts throughout the year. So
Galair, is that the one that does the Mobius, Brad? Is it a Galair Mobius airbrush? The airbrush itself is not that expensive. The compressor is a lot of money, I thought.
yeah, Chris said yeah. So with the airbrush, I guess, right? You use the paint and then you put thinner in there, paint thinner in there. And then
Depends on the brush and the paint. Some brushes you don't need anything. From what I understand, watching videos.
yeah, I have to check that out, but um,
Yeah, here's the Mobius airbrush, the 3mm. That's $72 for just the brush.
hmm. B-Raz says the kit has a basic airbrush. The compressor worked well compared to the one that he has. So
There's a nice paint booth, Mike. $100.
yeah, I gotta start collecting my allowance and saving it up. he put me on an allowance. So
Here's a kit. It's got the 2 air brushes, all the hose attachments and everything, plus the compressor, 1/5 horsepower compressor, 3 air brushes, $87.90. I never heard of the brand though.
but yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, it is definitely interesting when you get to
I watched Hughes,
this stuff.
Shane at Hughes Garage. He bought the cheap one. His first one was the cheap one, and he struggled with it. And of course, he's funny anyways, right? Talking about this piece of crap airbrush. Yeah,
Yeah.
globs of paint coming out and spraying everywhere.
Yeah, that's I think I did see something a little bit of his video. I don't think that I watched the whole thing, but something happened. I had to do chores or something, and I had to kind of stop and never got back to it. So, but yeah, we're at I don't know, hour 7 minutes, man, for talking about nothing. It was like a Seinfeld episode.
Seinfeld episode, right? Of just show about
But
nothing.
hey, it's pretty good. I think it's good just to get out here and chit chat and to hang out, right?
Yep.
I guess we'll cut it off and say adieu
And Merry Christmas.
and
Happy
Merry
holidays.
Happy New Year. Everybody be safe, and we'll see you after the turn of the year, after the ball drops. We'll see you guys. So hanging out and watching and all your comments and stuff. That's pretty good.
Yep.
And we'll catch you guys on the next one.
Have a safe holiday, everyone. See ya.
Yeah, hard, have fun, and keep smiling, y'all. Peace.